I call this meeting to order of the Charter Township of Bedford. If you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I'm hoping that we can open this meeting with the spirit of neighbors, community, and let it be productive with good intent. May we agree to disagree, but always search for a common ground and a compromise for a better Bedford. You have roll call.
Supervisor, Supervisor Johnson.
Present.
Clerk Baracco here. Treasurer Davis. Here. Trustee McKay.
Here.
Trustee Meinke.
Here.
Trustee Blanchard.
Here.
Trustee Hoskins. Here. 7, we have a quorum.
All right. We'll see in the your packets that you guys got there and what was put online, a correction to my regular budget report that reflects the supervisor's salary. And in addition, I added a column with the help of a BSA technician to that report that hasn't been there before, that shows our usage. And it also shows how much we have left. So that might be helpful. And that's basically all I got right now. Go to clerk report.
Okay. We have some exciting news. Most of you remember July 1st, 2022, which is when we started the water project on River Road. It has been finalized. Total amount $3,473,000, 127.16 total dollar amount that was completely free to Bedford. And it did several things in for the good of the township. It increased the clean water on River Road. It also gave hydrants on River Road that makes the fire departments easier for them to fill up trucks or to fight fires on that road. So it was a very good thing. Not only that, that project for the engineering quality and the craftsmanship involved in the project won 3 awards. It won a district award. We were presented with, and I have the 3 plaques up here, presented last week. It won a state award, which we went to the infrastructure conference up in Lansing and we were awarded that. And then the National EPA Award, which is this 3rd one. And we are one of 16 throughout the country to get an award for this. So that's big.
Yes.
And then you may be wondering about Station 1. There's a tower there that we had some disagreements as to who owned it. That will be coming down. They are including it in the funding for the tear down, and that's with the land bank. Next week, the parking lot at Markham Park will be started, and that's the beginning of the disc golf for that park. Spring cleanup is scheduled for May 30th. You'll find it online, and we'll have it posted both on Facebook and the website. Pancake breakfast is scheduled for June 20th, and that'll happen right here. We'll have flyers up and we'll advertise that as well. And May 5th election, we had a total of 357 ballots cast. 132 voted yes, 224 voted no, and we had 1 blank ballot. So of those, we had 288 via absentee ballot and then 69 in person. There was a Johnstown joint fire. I know very little about it with the solar field. Do you want to pick that one up?
We did a mock medical emergency out at the solar fields. Just kind of practice, get a lay of the land. any medical or fire or anything like that, we're gonna get mutual aid called for either if it's on Johnstown side, they'll get called if it's on our side. And yeah, we had a good turnout. We had 9 Bedford people and 5 or 6 Johnstown firefighters, and that was in the middle of the week and middle of the day. So they'd be incredibly lucky if that was our response on a normal weekday during the daytime when most people are at work. And it went really well. It kind of showed us what equipment we need to be, or to, do well out there, and then kind of what to expect when navigating out there. They're, very tight roads, very hilly. They're luckily numbering the rows of solar panels, so they can give us a pretty precise location when they do call it in. Right now, there's a ton of people out there during construction, but there will only be potentially 2 people out there once it goes live. So if one guy goes down with a medical emergency, you have to either have the other guy stay with him or leave him completely alone and meet us at the street to show us where he is. And you don't want to leave a person alone in a medical emergency. So it went well. It was very successful, I think.
Let me add to that. That presentation that Chief and you guys were able to do, there's I think they call it a state first responders grant, and that presentation made a good case for possibly us getting ATV to help you guys out, maybe 2, but we'll see down the line. But that goes along with that presentation you guys did.
I'm finished.
Okay, we move to the treasurer's report.
I would just wanted to give a little information on the pickleball court. We did get the land surveyed a couple weeks ago. We're waiting on that report. I did send out for 7 bids to drop the design of the pickleball court. I've only heard back from 2. And if I could, I'd like to make a motion to make a vote on hiring for the pickleball print.
The company we use for RFP.
I'm sorry?
No, I said the company, you had that information. In the
Yeah.
packet for
Yeah,
RFP.
Yep, the information is in the packet.
Are we gonna do that later so we can have discussion?
I mean, we can, they
I have
bring it
to.
up.
Yeah.
I have to have
Okay.
discussion.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'll move this for discussion for later.
Yeah, under discussion, that's great. Steve, thank you.
So you won't talk about it later down. the-
Yeah, we'll talk about it under discussion, yeah.
Okay, so, I move for, consent of the agenda.
Move to adopt. Don't we have to do the approval on the agenda? Any additions or anything?
That's what we're doing.
Wonderful, you went down here to the consent.
No, approval of the consent agenda, additions, subtractions, and corrections, number 8.
Okay,
We're on 8 now.
Could we add audit on there, please?
All right,
Yes,
okay,
please.
all right.
Thank you. You made the motion.
Yeah, if we're done, I figured we were through that part.
Okay, so support.
I'll support.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hoskins, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Clerk Rocco, yes. Trustee Menke.
yes,
Trustee Blanchard.
Yes.
Trustee McKay.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
7 yes.
Here we are, number 9. Approval of consent agenda items. In the minutes of the April 14, 26 board meeting, minutes of the April 23rd special board meeting, payment of the bills of $123,708.42. Our budget report for 2026, police and fire, Bedford Township Fire Department reports, building and zoning report, the assessor's report, and the planning commission liaison report, which are all in your packet on the website.
Like on this gas station, they might go down here where, Logan's used to be in that. Wasn't that ground contaminated? I mean, can they still build on it? Does anybody know? That was in Cody's report.
As far as I know on that one, it was contaminated, but since they're not developing below, it's gonna be capped. The tanks were replaced, fully contained, and then they're just developing up.
Okay.
But that's for their engineers and
So that, just seems like a couple years ago, somebody said they'd never be able to build there, so that's why.
The county did.
Yeah. And also on the board, on the 14 minutes, April 14th, under when I had time to talk,
Mhm.
it doesn't say anything too much in there about when I disagreed with what was said. You know, I mean, we amend that and add that in there. Maybe listen to the recording or however you want to do it, but just in case it ever has to be looked up again, it'll be on there.
Sure.
I appreciate
And
it.
they're not verbatim.
Right,
Okay.
right. We just,
Yep. I can.
okay, thank you. That's
You're welcome.
all I got.
I have a few questions on bills when you're ready. Okay, ready? Check 28032 for the insurance for Blue Cross Blue Shield, $2,871. Just a question on this one. So this is health insurance. And we have two people taking it, is that correct?
We have, two people taking it, but one is a family.
Okay, so our family one, that's the 2,417, is that a month?
No, this is, he started and then they did a bill. They recalculated the bill. So you should see it should drop off significantly next month.
From the 2417?
Yes,
Okay, because that came out of the treasurer department. That,
yes.
okay, okay. And then I guess maybe we can have discussion of that later,
Absolutely.
of what premiums are paid and stuff like that, because I don't know any of that.
Okay.
So that would be a good thing to go over. My other one, MI Construction Supply, 815, just a question, what was that one for?
That is, I don't have to look at the,
I think it's MI, is it MI or ML? WL, sorry. Contact then, WL, Construction Supply.
can I get back to you on that one?
The other one, VC3, $1,026. Is that, I guess I should be watching that better too. Is that monthly? What are our charges with them?
So we have licenses that we have to pay for through them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have cloud storage. We have, if we have them do like the amount for the FOIA, that is
Okay.
there.
Okay.
I'd have to look at that one directly to give you.
So yeah, if you could send me that, like, a monthly kind of balance out of what that would be if we didn't have FOIAs and things like that. I'm just curious. I think that's it. Oh, my other question. The sheets that we got. The gross pay one, thank you. And retirement, I've seen the retirement is broke out in our packs as well. And that's good, thank you. I just had a question on that, but I can ask you on that one
Okay.
later. The other one for April payments, gross wages, again, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
The 300 for the trustees for April.
Yes,
Okay, I didn't get a deposit. for
you should get it. It should be in your account. Did you look today?
I did, but that should be
Okay.
for May. We got, I don't know if
Correct,
anybody got
correct.
anything for April.
No,
The deputies didn't?
no.
Okay. And that'll be made up, I'm assuming.
So the trustees have been paid.
Uh-huh.
It should show up. Scott, did yours show up?
Yes.
Okay, and then you have the May payment that'll show up as well. That should
Okay.
be there tomorrow.
That'll be there tomorrow.
It
So
should be,
the recent one and another. Okay, yeah, thank you.
I got one more question. On this tax, we got Comcast there 3 times.
so there's Comcast at Station 3
Mm-hmm,
over on Morgan Road. There's one here.
mm-hmm.
And then one was probably came later, so it's on this bill. So it's on this month.
They don't fill us with one,
They
for
don't.
the multiple locations.
They do not.
That makes sense.
And you said Claudia is now, is she going quarterly or monthly for payments on cleaning?
She's now gonna go back to monthly.
Monthly, okay. I'm good, thank you.
And I guess I can ask you a quick choice. Like you got a couple of people who's got, like Jim, he's got a number here and Christie, do we assume that's just mileage?
So,
It doesn't really say. I mean, even Cody's got something in here. I know he was just up in Traverse City, but it don't really tell us what it is. It just,
okay,
As a
there's
dollar
a
amount.
second, nope, there was the
oh,
the
sheet.
detailed report.
Yeah,
has
okay, okay.
All of
I-
the descriptions.
Yeah,
of-
that's something new. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's all in the
It's all
detailed
in there.
report.
Okay.
But
okay.
that is, Jim's is mileage,
Mhm.
Cody has mileage. Christie has mileage,
Okay.
um. I think
All
those were
right.
the oddities, yeah.
Yeah, and the one more thing I wanted to point out is our treasurer for our insurance is at like 63% usage already. We're gonna go over budget on that.
We are, because when we did the budget,
Mhm.
we had it figured at the 400. Because she was taking the 400 originally
Mhm.
and then switched to the insurance.
Okay.
So that, you'll see that
Do we have a period where they can sign in for insurance? Do you know?
for December.
It was December. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. So approval for the consent agenda items. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Treasurer Davis. Yes. Trustee McKay.
Yes.
Trustee Menke.
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard.
Yes,
Trustee Hoskins.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Motion carries.
Okay, item number 10 on the agenda.
Cody. Oh, you fire me? I'm going too bad.
Public comments on agenda items only. Is there anybody wishing to speak on the agenda item?
How's everybody doing?
Yes, please come up and state your name and then talk.
My name is Brian Weatherill. I own BC Auto Service. I was gonna tell you about Murph's repair facility down there, cause I don't know why he's afraid to tell you. He removed that tank himself. And I know where it's at right now. Logan's gas station, since you guys are so good at numbers with your pay, you should look a little closer at the numbers of all the contamination. And I know for a fact, he messed up his pumps and was selling gas. You could fill up your car for $1.80 for 2 weeks straight. And me, being a 30-year master mechanic, I know that a dime-sized hole, like they claim in the report, is not gonna do what they're claiming. The other thing to that, none of the wells were contaminated. 15 feet away from this tank spill, that house behind there, the water level is 30 feet around here. Nobody has any contamination, so I don't understand where there's 8,000 gallons of fuel in the ground. And the other thing, there's 2 hydraulic hoists still in the ground there, and they're leaching oil into the ground. How come we haven't taken care of those yet? And then I have a question. How many of you own property on this A1 commercial site you're designing over here? Thank you. Have a good day.
Anybody else wishing to speak public comment on the agenda item? One more time. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the reports. Police and fire, I don't, yeah, we got an officer.
He's here. He made it.
Yeah,
I apologize. I
Put
apologize.
that away.
Training today.
Officer Phillips, the Battle Creek Police Department. We had some firearms training today, so it took me a minute to get out here. Over the last month, we've had a total of 452 calls for service. Total incidents with 259 of those being calls for service. 193 of them were self-initiated traffic stops, business check. Our average response time for calls 9 minutes and 25 seconds. With our priority 1 and 2, so our emergency calls for service, the average being somewhere around 7 seconds. Or 7 minutes.
Thank you.
Good.
We are tracking that. That being said, our highest calls for service are other person trouble, so if people's calling in that there's trouble nearby or domestic violence. So try and be kind to your loved one.
Thank you. I don't see, the chief here tonight, but Cody gave a pretty good overview of stuff that happened. He slips in or something, I might tap him on the shoulder, but he's not here, so let's move on. I don't see, Representative Frisbee, but I do see Commissioner Dan.
Good evening, Dan Strover, the County Commissioner. Joyce, you stole my thunder about the tower situation. It's one of the reasons I was coming tonight. That just got settled yesterday. I was very proud to be a part of that process, especially during the initial process. I'm glad that it's finally resolved. Please, if you're unhappy with anything surrounding the demolition of that, please liaise with the land bank, okay? I think they've done a pretty good job. I know I see the emails of, you gotta get this done, but you apparently got it done and we're moving forward with it. Roads, as you all know, all the roads that you guys put in for were approved. So I don't know the exact schedule of that yet, but those are all approved. And then the last thing that just got taken care of today was, I told you many, many months ago that we were refiguring our calls for service fee schedule. That is done now. We found some errors along the way, of the way things have been done in the past. Hopefully those have now been corrected. You will see that your percentage of the overall percentage countywide is going to go up a little bit. And the reason for that is because 2 reasons. First of all, we've taken away all self-initiated calls from the call for service formula. So the officer there just mentioned about the difference between an officer initiated call versus a dispatched call. Self-initiated calls such as a traffic stop, unless it leads to an arrest or some type of an incident number, will no longer be charged as a call for service call. So that means your total call volume goes down. The second reason it's going to change a little bit is because during this process, we found an error, and that error was the sheriff's department was actually getting charged twice. The municipality that the sheriff's department contracted with was getting charged for the sheriff's calls, and the sheriff's department was also getting billed directly for the exact same calls. So if we take that out of the mix, then that cuts the sheriff's department calls for service basically in half.
Yeah.
And so what that does now is that spreads everything out amongst everybody else. So I believe the formula that I saw today, Bedford is going to go from 3.8% to 4% initially, and then at the end of a 3-year, because it's a 3-year phase in, we'll end up about 4.8%. So it's going to go up a little bit, mostly because Battle Creek now, who you contract with, was less affected or was more affected by the sheriff's department because now the calls have to be spread over a broader area. So, but that is concluded now and we're moving forward with it. So, any questions?
When will we see the new numbers?
They will be coming out. Public comment period just closed 2 weeks ago. So it should come out in the next couple weeks, I would imagine. We did it over a 3-year phase in so that you could adjust so you're not getting a big hit for a different bill, you know, for a different size bill right off the bat. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, under Item number 12, we're gonna add Christie down there too, under trustee Hoskins. But first, let's discuss, open discussion with trustee McKay.
Okay, as the planning commission liaison, it has been brought to my attention that our zoning ordinances, which are being updated and reviewed as we speak, lack one important zoning ordinance, and that's called the ability to have a moratorium. And a moratorium is simply a delay to study an event, an activity, something new that we're not equipped to handle right away. And so I've been asked by the planning commission and our attorney to ask you not to vote, just to give me feedback. Do we want to add the ability to have a moratorium on our zoning ordinances? And one possible use of it would be to talk about data centers, which is a very hot topic throughout the state. And we could, if we have a moratorium ability to have one, we could then apply it to a data center and say, we need to study for 6 months whether or not it's feasible. And just, the board knows this, but the audience may not know this. We cannot deny the ability for someone to put one here. What we can control is where it goes. And that's the whole purpose of this, is to study, is it feasible? Where could we put it? How could we handle this, etc. Bedford is probably not the best location for one, because of the way the power supply and the amount of land that they need. We're not an ideal location. To our north, yeah, there's several, including Johnstown Township. That could be a location. But in order to proceed on this path, I have to get your feedback. Do we want to have the ability to have a moratorium for anything that we need time to study?
My thoughts are absolutely, I think we should have one. And that gives us a little bit more time to figure things out, but I think we should have a moratorium.
I agree, being that we don't have a full-time staff that we could dedicate to the research of the ramifications of any given project, having bought ourselves some time to due diligence. I think that's prudent.
Is it a 6-month period? Can you,
It's often a 6-month period that you can extend
that was the
if
question.
you're not quite done. But I mean, Seth will write up and present, if we wish to do this at the next meeting, and provide you with information in advance about what the legislative or ordinance says.
I think we should pursue it.
I do.
Yes, I'm with you.
I will take it back to the planning commission and to Seth to move forward on this stuff.
Well, I think that gives us a little more control, maybe buy some time for
Yeah.
that as well, that we can have a little more heads up and know what's going on.
Yeah, it's not just for data centers, it's for anything new
Yeah.
that we don't understand or
That's
have
correct.
a good grasp of, and we have a one-man band here, they can't do everything.
Well, and again, it may be a benefit to us. but,
Yes,
we
true.
won't know that until we look at all angles.
yeah,
So,
yep, correct.
Well, on the record, I'm not a proponent of data center at all.
I don't think Bedford's a hot
I
spot.
probably won't ever be able to be persuaded with that, but I'm glad we'll be looking at it that way. What else you got there, trustee McKay?
That's all I have.
What?
Yeah. Other trustees have other stuff.
Okay, discussion on ordinances and compensation committee per trustee Hoskins.
Thank you. Ordinance, so let's start with cemetery. Speaking of moratorium, I know that a resident did approach about putting a temporary moratorium out there at the cemetery so that everything would be stopped to be removed until we got some more on that. And it wasn't somebody making a decision to remove left one stuff. I sent an email as well. what I'm hearing now is, this is a month for a holiday. So this is a big
Correct.
month for families.
Correct.
So I haven't seen anything on Facebook or the website as far as what's changed, what's allowed, what's not allowed. People are buying flowers, and if they're removing them, they're wasting their money. So we should have something out to the public. And we can't do the ordinance now, but this is just something we need to get out to the public of what we are allowing, what we're not allowing.
So I'm not sure how you want that written. But what we've done is stopped, we're following the rules that are on the signs at the cemetery. And, Thor was going to be here to discuss how the little, metal animals or little metal statues, all of that, he said that it's very difficult to clean around and to mow, and he's getting them caught in the blades and it's dangerous. So he's feeling like it's a threat. So he picked up a lot of them. I've asked him not to remove them. There's people that have urns. We put it in the urn so they can come and get them. He hasn't continued. It's come to a
halt now. What people are putting out there.
Correct. And then
as long as they are following the guidelines.
Correct.
Okay.
And I mean, if there's an event like Mother's Day, there were flowers out there, they're still there. As soon as they die, they'll be removed, which is a normal thing in a cemetery.
Yeah.
Not trying to, I mean, the rules say no plants, and we've had flower beds and we've had trees, and there's a lot planted. And when you have a cemetery, it's burial rights. You don't own the property. Bedford owns it, and we're trying to keep it maintained and clean. And that's hard, but after a funeral, those items are there for a couple weeks, so that, you know, that's a tough time. So we're trying to be respectful all the way around. They do save most of the items. They've put them in, the ones they removed prior to this, they've put them in the storage room of the cemetery if people ask for them. There's a time period that it's clean. It's the cemetery clean out. So they do that in the spring and they do it in the fall. And they ask for nothing to be added for that month. This was unfortunate that it fell with Good Friday. This was not a good time for it to, and so they were taking some of those flowers down, which created one of the issues. But we want it to be a place that is safe for the workers, safe for the people, clean, well kept. You know, I know at Fort Custer they have, you can put flowers, but only certain kinds. And they're all the ones that the deer like to eat. So you do two things at once. So we are working on it. I do have printouts that you'll have in your box to go through for the next meeting of the rules, and then add to it, change it. You'll also have the copy of the ordinance so that you can go through. That's a longer process, but rule wise, let's work together and see what we can get the public input, see what how they're feeling about it. Big changes, but he was following the rules.
I know
what we had,
but a lot of them were grandfathered in. A lot of these bushes people have put out there, they've been out there for many, many years. And a lot of these, they don't have any family living anymore, maybe, to help get that changed over. So I'm just saying, maybe we could put something even on Facebook or the website of what we're allowing. Are shepherd hooks allowed there? What is out there is gonna stay.
Yes, well, they everything had to be removed for the month, and then the shepherd hook, you can have one at each graveside. So.
Okay.
We'll go
And then
through
I'd
this.
like to make this ordinance a priority. When we work on this.
Is a copy for you? There's a copy.
I got
for
a copy, but I'm just saying to
Right.
get moving, we should
Right.
prioritize that.
We just finished an election, and tomorrow's the first meeting for the next election, so.
On the safety part and everything, what did Kevin do? He was here like 37 years. I mean, I never heard him complain about anything out there. I mean, you've been here a while. I mean, you know anything about that?
So I've never mowed a cemetery.
Well, I haven't either, but I
And
mean,
so Thor was going to be here to speak on that so that you could hear it firsthand. Because I also had never heard of Kevin having issues.
right.
I hadn't heard of that. I know there are a lot of little things out there.
Mhm.
And a lot of people complained about their things being stolen, which is unfortunate as well, but
Yeah.
so that's, I was hoping that he was gonna be here. Or was gonna be here.
Okay.
Good with that, right? The other thing is the labor compensation committee. I did there. Last month, we kind of talked about moving this forward and everybody was gonna bring something to the table of what they thought. And so I guess we could open that up for discussion.
I'll start.
Thanks.
I thought about how many people we should have on the committee. Definitely should be an odd number.
Mhm.
And I'm ranging between that 5 to 7.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to get too many because
Mhm.
there'll be a lot of discussion and nothing will happen.
Mhm.
So I was thinking 5 would probably be
I
ideal.
like 5.
5, I think sounds good.
I had 3, but,
Well,
and then it's an odd number.
3 to 5.
yeah,
But problem with 3, maybe
If-
somebody gets sick or
Right, that's fair.
vacations or
5 ways
something.
another one.
That's fair.
Yeah,
5 helps a lot.
And mine was volunteer.
yeah, that's. I'm for kind of-
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Joyce?
Volunteer.
Yeah, I agree, not paid with
Yeah.
our other parts.
Yeah, we have
Okay,
other,
so-
yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody
and I
else.
think we'll get interest. Mhm.
So,
Yep. And then, so the other thing is how many times a year? Once a year?
I had
Before
2, because I
budget,
felt like
once or
they
twice?
would have to look at things,
Mhm.
get a feel for it, and then process it, and
Mm-hmm.
then come back for a recommendation.
Well, even then, I think we could leave the cadence to them if we left them at deadlines. So
Yep.
we impanel them. It's an advisory committee and then we give them a deadline that we need so that we can then start factoring it in for the
Mhm.
budget. So we've got to have a hard stop date.
Yep. What dates would you recommend, Joyce, with budget?
That would be the buffer and that even.
Yeah.
I would think that it should be done a lot sooner than last year.
Oh,
So I would think maybe August,
You think that late?
July.
August 1st.
Yeah, July.
Well, we're starting
We
late
start
this
like
year. I would say maybe for this year, we could do August, but
August 1st.
in future years, I'd want to start earlier and
Yeah.
yeah, I'd want to back that up so that we have more wiggle room.
So you're thinking July?
We're kind of late to the party
I'll
this
be
year.
starting the budget in July. I mean, excuse me, June,
In June? You're starting the budget in
in
June?
June.
So we would need it before, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to get that together.
Well, you don't need it before, but
Mhm.
July or anything like that close,
Mhm.
you know,
We're still plugging numbers by July,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we're fine.
It's gonna
Right.
take a while, you know.
so maybe we could send in to get it on the Facebook and the website to put out that we're looking for individuals who might be interested in joining that committee.
There's been a couple already that has showed interest and a couple numbers that have been given to Randy so far of people that would show, or that
Okay.
shown
Okay.
interest.
I also
Maybe-
want to make sure that these are people who are reaching out to us and not people that we're reaching
That's
out
correct.
to.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
So maybe you could share those names too with us in email.
I wrote it down and gave it to Randy, one of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that's a good moving forward, and we can shoot some emails to each other and move forward with that.
So, I don't know, I'm gonna ask a couple of questions about it. What exactly
Mm.
do you want them to do? How are they gonna collect their data and who, or what are they going to evaluate to refer to us? I mean, what are they gonna use as a resource to, what are they gonna base their data on?
Sure. They can go from our last budget. Start looking at that. They can seek other townships, see where they're at, if we're close to numbers, things like that. I think it's a good resource to use other townships. I don't think it's comparing apples to apples. It's just a good resource.
Yeah.
Because they're in the same boat we are.
And would they have access to MTA as well?
Yeah. We could
They
give
could,
them-
yep.
If not,
That one
they
person
could
login.
liaison
Yep.
through one of the deputies
That's
to
correct.
reach out to MTA.
Mhm.
And like I said, there should be some education as far as the fund balance, things,
Yep.
just, a one or two pager guiding principles
Mhm.
sort of thing, not telling them how to do their job, but just
Mhm.
key points of interest.
Yeah, and then once we start getting some names, we could all maybe talk to them, see where they're at, what they're interested in, to make sure they're willing to do that. Volunteer, and then we could get that moving forward.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, and again, it's an advisory committee.
That's
We-
correct.
but
They'll
I
only
think
make,
we're-
they'll
I think
only
we're-
talk.
We make a stronger opinion if we know where our community is coming from.
I agree. And they're just giving us their opinion after they go over all the numbers, bring it to us, and then we decide. They don't make any decisions.
Yep, it's another layer of accountability.
Correct.
So what's basically the only requirement would be they gotta be a Bedford resident then? Or don't they have to be a Bedford resident?
Well, I think
Oh,
it
I
would
would
be
think
fair.
Yeah,
That's right. I mean, is
Yeah.
there any other requirements you would think though?
I
Well,
think it
I
depends who
would
we
like
get
to-
interested to see what.
Think, you know,
Background.
what, if they're gonna make evaluations on salaries,
Mhm.
what people should get and why they get it, I would hope that they had some kind of experience to make
Yeah.
a decision like that.
Mhm.
well, but I think
I think we
people
get
who,
everyone.
I think people who are
Mhm.
paying taxes have skin in the game, so they should have a say.
That's right.
You know, they don't have to be, they don't have to have an HR background or have run their own company. You know, we're looking for what the community feels is fair.
Mhm. Yeah, we could get different backgrounds for sure. And we'll see how it goes on interest.
Right,
You
you
know,
know,
then we
I'll
can
take,
decide.
for example, our fire chief. Our fire chief gets a paltry amount as opposed to somebody who's full-time department and has 3 shifts cooking and everything's, you know, running 24/7
Mhm.
with guys in the house. Now, he doesn't have any less responsibility, probably has more. But it's not we're not paying him what Battle Creek City's paying a bat chief.
That's right. Yeah. I think comparisons are good sometimes in certain situations.
If you want to write the write-up for
Mhm.
Facebook
Yeah.
or for
What we're looking for.
what your vision is, and then it gives us a starting point.
Yep, I'll do that. I'll get it to you in the next week. Then we'll get it on.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The other thing, everybody good with that one? Anybody else? The other one was audit. Have we got our audit?
We have, we should be getting our official paperwork to submit back to the state from the auditors soon,
Okay,
like in the next 2 weeks, I would imagine.
so the engagement letter was signed already then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's good for me.
Okay,
You'd have to go off.
Yeah, just-
Oh, you're gonna go.
no,
off
but
it
I
all.
thought you had questions on it.
Were you gonna add VC3, Randy? Discussion?
well, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that. But go ahead, Randall.
No, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, go. Again, on the pickleball court, we've had the property surveyed. And I've reached out to 7 different engineering companies or architects, and I've only received 2 bids back. So I was going to see if I could make a motion to vote on one of the 2 bids that I think everybody has in their packets. So we can move forward and get this pickleball court rolling.
I have some questions, like, Jean said, you have questions.
I don't know when I'm supposed to say what I'm supposed to say.
Go on, do you wanna ask?
Oh, yeah. How many courts? Because we haven't had a lot of
Right,
information.
we haven't.
No.
I'm waiting for the design to talk to the architect on the design, so he can tell me how many we can have in there. I know that we are looking at 2 shuffleboards.
2
I
shuffleboards
know
in
we
there,
have the
okay.
room for that. Yeah,
So 2 shuffleboards and then the pickleball.
yeah. We were thinking 4 to 6, maybe.
Pickleball
but-
courts?
yeah.
Really? Should we start with just maybe 2 to see if it's, because we don't even know if it's gonna take off. I mean, I know it's a popular thing right now, but
Right, I don't know.
yeah, I'm just a
I'm
suggestion. Just a suggestion.
Going with what they're saying. From my understanding, it's gonna be more expensive to do it later on, more courts to add
Mhm.
than it would be to do 4 of them right now.
Okay, my other question is the money used for this.
is
For
the money.
the money that we're using for this.
It's
Okay.
gonna be out of park and
Correct.
rec.
But it has to be a new park. Is that correct? To
This
do
is
that, so that's gonna be named a new park.
It already has been voted by the board as a new park. We just haven't picked a name for it.
We voted,
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Okay.
December.
okay,
It's
I'll
fine.
look at that, okay, thank you.
3 months ago.
Okay, thank you. And then my two concerns is losing those parking spaces. Are we gonna lose a lot of the parking space
No.
over there?
There will still be parking spaces right out front for people to be able to park. We have to leave so much space so the fire trucks can pull up and still back in.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll still, we're not sure if it's gonna be gravel. I'm sure it probably will in the beginning, but we have to have that space over there, some of that.
Oh,
Go
go ahead.
the fire chief. This has been ran by him because my thought is, and just thinking ahead, that's what I do. With that pickleball court there, with people parking, if somebody parked into this area and just say blocks it up, I know we have a yard they can go through. But have we thought about that with the fire department here? Is any blocking off, if somebody leaves their car and just goes for a walk or whatever the case, or, they're playing pickleball and they decide to go away for a little bit, we have cars here. Is that going to affect our fire department? That's my thought. That,
I don't believe it should. I don't want to speak for him.
Mhm.
There's enough room to fit 2 vehicles
Mhm.
on that driveway right there.
Mhm.
We tow them. I mean, there are signs out there.
Right.
Fire
Yeah, you
vehicles
can-
only. So you catch it early, you just
right,
call the tow company. And,
yeah.
The problem is if you gotta get out because of a fire and they got it blocked.
if we need to, we can move vehicles.
You keep the plow on the truck all year.
Not all year, but we're pretty quick getting it on.
But I know
That's my concern.
a couple places that have pickleball courts, they have a lot of vandalism. I mean, I know we have cameras, but have
That's
we
why we
thought
chose
about
this
that, what
place.
that's gonna bring here?
That's why we chose this place over like Brookside Annex
Mhm.
or another one of our parks, because it is on camera. It's well lit. It's
Mhm.
quieter, so when there is activity, people tend to notice that there's activity over here.
Mhm. And then if we have maintenance on them, well, how are we gonna pay for maintenance on these courts? Or I guess pavilion, I seen pavilion in here. Is there a pavilion going in there?
We were thinking maybe a small one, just so if somebody wanted to play and their kids were with them, they could have lunch at a pavilion with picnic table.
Not a large one though.
No, no.
Okay.
Are we gonna allow them to use the bathroom in here if they come in to use the bathroom?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, we're open.
Yeah.
So Christy, when you get the quotes, there is a chance that you could be phasing it in, correct?
Correct.
It's not all at
All
once,
at once,
perhaps.
right? It could be phased down, yeah.
So you can see how it.
Well, and I've seen these bids are quite different from each other. I guess you could explain that. I don't, yeah, that's
The
a huge
one-
difference.
The one from Driven Design, he is a gentleman that normally only does $1 million plus architectural work with the design. And the other one that we have, he focuses on smaller jobs. Under $1 million.
The other thing with Durbin Designs is I was looking through his quote. In other fees in Schedule B,
Mhm.
they mention mileage using our own vehicles and airplanes. Where, is this something from way?
Airplane.
And he's already through the moon. How many?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's
That's not.
I mean, it was the only two that I received back.
No,
so-
I hear you.
Yeah.
I just,
Did you contact, is it CEI that we've used before?
Yes,
Were they contacted?
they're under, CEI is engineering underground, not.
No,
above
but
ground.
okay. So my one more question, I'm sorry. We have this here. What are we looking at total cost if we do? What's our max that we have to put pickleball courts in there?
Amount,
Mhm.
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Okay,
I believe we had, it was either 83 or 93,000 in the parks village to come up. Before we allocated the parking lot money last year that we were required to allocate to qualify for this year's millage.
80 to 90.
which I can't remember what that number was, but it was in a couple of reports ago, or a couple of board meetings ago, that had when we approved,
30, yeah.
yeah, like 34,000 or something for this year.
And you just don't think this would be better to go into an existing park that we have, like the Brookside or anything? I mean, I don't know.
From what I know, when they put new basketball hoops or nets on the basketball hoops at
Mhm.
Brookside, it took about 2 days for them to get stolen and cut off.
Mhm.
So I think putting a bunch of development into something like that, I mean, it could go either way.
And
Ideally, it'd be perfect from a perspective, but I
yeah,
don't know.
that's just my concern, is the traffic here. And then is it going to be for Bedford residents only? I mean, there's no way to police that,
No, it's gonna be open.
open to whoever wants to use
Yeah.
that. Okay.
But this, and the reason I like this is kind of an up and coming thing. It's new, it's something that isn't everywhere. It's kind of something unique that we can showcase. I've never seen pickleball. I passed a place today that's an indoor pickleball place that's open all year long and busy. So, you know, I don't, basically a small tennis court, right?
Correct.
So, yeah, if worst case scenario, we could always convert the pads to other usage down the road if it flops, but I don't think it will. Like I said, I hear about it all over the place. That being said, I'm probably not for me.
For everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I won't watch.
There you go. Now we gotta put bleachers up.
I bring a lawn chair.
So can I make a motion to move forward with, Richard King and Associates? To go ahead and allow him to give us the plans for the pickleball court?
When do we plan on having this done? I mean, put in this year yet? Or-
We're looking to start it
Yeah.
as soon as possible. I know that there's been a lot of people asking
Mhm.
when it's gonna start taking off.
Cody, are we on a timeline for this year's disbursement like we were for last year?
There's just a certain percentage that needs to be spent by the end of the year to receive next year,
Okay.
which I'm not sure what that exact percentage is. We were way off last year. I remember thinking it had to be half or something like that. And then when we contacted them to figure out how much needed to be spent, they were like, oh no, you're only a couple $1,000s away from it with what you've already done. So
All right.
I can reach out to the county and figure out.
I just want to make sure that we're planning for the, you know, for the finish line now rather than modifying the plan.
Yeah.
Was that your motion?
You know, he's making a motion.
Making a motion to vote on, Richard King and Associates. So I can get the plans, so we can talk further more.
I'll second.
Thank you.
We're in discussion, right?
Discussion.
I have to ask the board to remove me from the vote in relation to this because one of the architects is a personal friend of mine. And in a charter township, you have to you have to vote to let me excuse myself from voting.
So move.
Sorry.
Okay, there's a motion by trustee McKay to abstain. And second was okay, so we'll take roll call to that vote for him to abstain.
Trustee Hopkins,
I'm gonna say no, just because of the location.
Well,
Oh, this is,
This
voting
is to get Gene.
Oh, gotcha.
So you don't have-
By me.
Sorry.
Exist still no.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Trustee Mikey,
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard.
Yes.
6 yes. Motion carried. For you to abstain.
Okay, now, been a motion to accept the RFP for Christie's project with the lower, well, not with
It's with Rick
who
King.
you selected,
Rick King.
yeah. So Did we get them support for that?
Yes,
Okay.
it was moved by Davis and
May I ask a question? Were the bids part of the packet that went out to the community?
Mhm.
We should probably cover that, at least in discussion for the community members, then if they didn't get those numbers.
Okay,
These,
So-
I thought these were on the pack today. No.
sorry. The first bid from Driven Design that they had given to me was $21,000. The one from Richard King and Associates was $5,800. But again, this design, I don't know the difference in what they would be. Besides the fees for the planes landing here and that kind of stuff, I'm really not sure. I know that some of it was gonna be in 3D and they were going to outsource it to somebody else to have it done, where Richard King will be doing it himself.
And you've looked at the background, he's done these before?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Any more discussion?
Just that I know that we put out 7 bids. How long ago was that?
I've been working for 6 months, trying to get them for 6 months.
All right, thank you. I'm just trying to, that way if somebody has a question, if we did our diligence.
No more discussion. We have roll call.
trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
trustee Hoskins,
No.
trustee Menke,
No,
clerk Bronco, yes, treasurer Davis,
Yes,
supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
So we had 4 yes, 2 no. Motion carried.
I just don't like the location with the fire trucks and all that. It bothers me. Cause you're gonna get people just park wherever they want and. I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna move along to 13. And you can express that. You have time.
Okay.
Yeah. For public comment.
Are you gonna talk about VC3? Or, you don't have to, up to you.
I don't know how relevant that would be for.
Okay, sure.
Township.
We can do it next time. Yep. 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 That's nice. Yep.
Okay, anybody wishing to speak a public comment?
Next time, let's get here. First, I'd like to thank the clerk for the, I guess, decision there to postpone, the removal and take a look at that ordinance. I definitely think that's a good idea. I'm hoping that, we find the correct ordinance. 'Cause that's where this starts, as I said last month. We have to have the correct ordinance for you guys to amend it. So that's that. Also like to thank Christy for her work on the, pickleball court. I definitely think that, if you're looking for public involvement here, if we're doing something that doesn't even fit in the park and current master plan, we really should be posting that stuff online, the site plan and stuff like that, giving everybody a chance to do it. I know it's difficult to get, people to give bids right now, across a variety of trades. So I'm sure that was a lengthy process to just get to. As far as the compensation advisory committee, again, we're you guys go ahead and decide what you're gonna do. We're gonna post a thing on Facebook, but I want to thank Randy for his questions about what are you gonna have these people do? How are they gonna get their information? I feel like that all has to be sorted out before you guys post something online. I just don't see how you're gonna post something online, and, it sounds like Shannon's just gonna come up with I think that should be done as a group and in front of the public so that we can get comment. And that should be made part of the packets. I felt very strongly about that from the get-go, and I'm gonna continue to feel strongly about that. And then lastly, the moratorium, not to steal my liaison's thunder on that. I can tell that we have trustees that are still confused about that. What Gene was asking was that in order to do a moratorium, you have to do both at the PC level and at the board level.
Oh.
So what he is asking is if you want to have it in the zoning ordinance already, so you don't have to amend the zoning ordinance and do a board resolution if you wanted to have a moratorium. And it doesn't mean that we're gonna have a moratorium on data centers. I kind of felt like that's the direction that went. It is just providing the opportunity to do that more effectively and efficiently. And the attorney had advised us that you have to do it at both levels in order to have an effective moratorium. So sorry, Gene.
No, that's
I'm not
good.
trying to step on your toes there. And that would be text amending the ordinance is the first part of that. And then that, that goes to the board, that kind of stuff. So it is a little bit of a process. It is not, we're gonna have a moratorium on data centers. I kind of got that vibe. And then I would also caution about moratoriums in general. It does not mean that you can just say, we don't want something here. There are timelines and a lot of work that goes into that. So it's just something to think about there. And then lastly, Bruce, you had said something about the Logan's gas station. The PC has not even seen that application. I would encourage you guys, if you have questions about applications that are, that are pending, we have a liaison and you should direct those comments to him. There's nothing, we'll do our due diligence there and get, environmentals and stuff like that, but it's not effective when we put out there that we have an application for a gas station when,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Adam Michaelis. Curious from the first comment time, there's a gentleman that spoke the entire time. If any of you on the board could let us all in the audience know what topic on the agenda he spoke on, I would much appreciate that. As far as you guys approving a new big project, it wasn't on the agenda. The public didn't get to see anything in those things that your packets that you had there, that wasn't in the packet, your whatever bids that you had there. And I guess just you admitted that it's not anything that you have a deadline on right now that you needed to stress on to make it push through immediately in any capacity. And then you open your mouths and you say stuff about being more transparent and letting the public know and participate and have a say in things. But today you just added on the agenda a big project to do that's going to cost a bunch of money. A lot of money. I mean, you're talking $5,000 plus just for the planning of the project, right? But woohoo, we got all this money. We can just pay for things willy-nilly because, you don't actually have to think about, hey, let the public have a say. Be transparent. You've been working on it for 6 months. I'd like to see the evidence. If you could share emails, whatever correspondence you've done 6 months ago, Christy, I appreciate that. I mean, that's crazy. You've been working on it for 6 months, and a couple people here, couple people here that get to continue speaking on after multiple times without any interruptions. I mean, it's apparent the things that have been going on here. More and more light is being shown on how you guys actually function. I mean, it's just crazy that you guys just added that on today. I mean, why did no one ever? Why didn't no? I mean, you guys all that approved that. Why did nobody speak up and put their foot down and say, hey, what? The public didn't get to look at any of these things to have a discussion or have an idea. I mean, you guys aren't smart enough to do all know everything up here. You guys need to give the public a greater opportunity so that you guys can stop looking so stupid up
period. Board members, Greg Moore, Affairs Manager of Consumers Energy. Just a quick update on the Spring Creek project. So all the damaged panels that I spoke about last month have been picked up. They are in storage crates waiting to be taken out to be recycled. Their panels are being replaced with new panels. As soon as we get those in, they'll be put up, and then all the panels will have been installed. So we'll be done with installing panels. We're now in the process of hooking up all the inverters, making all the electrical connections there, as well as stringing all the panels together. So if you see red rope, what looks like red rope, that is each panel array block being connected to the next one in a series. So that's what they're doing now. Unfortunately, the storm did set us back about a month. So we will be starting testing onto the grid instead of this month. We'll be starting early next month. And then we expect to go live with the project, assuming everything tests out and checks out. We'll be starting in mid-July. So that's the latest update on the project. I do commend you. I think it's probably wise to have some type of moratorium capability in your ordinance if you don't have that already. One thing I would caution on data centers, however, is Trustee McKay is probably right that 1,000-acre, 1 gigawatt data center probably not coming to Bedford Township anytime soon. But what I would say is that you have a pretty extensive zoning ordinance as it is. I know from the one that we are currently operating under, you have plenty of rules regarding sound, setbacks, noise, lighting, signage, all of those things. And if you allow for any type of manufacturing, which you do in your ordinance, you should already have pretty much everything you need in your ordinance to cover a data center. All a data center is a large warehouse with a bunch of servers in it. That's it. And the main two questions that people are so upset about, the water, and that should be a question, right? We're the Great Lakes state. That should always be a question. I mean, you should always know how that's going to be handled. But that's really a yes or no. You either do have the water or you don't. And if you don't, you're not getting a data center. And if you do, all right, how do you handle it? Are you using the closed loop system? You know, how much water are you going to be using and so forth? That'll be handled by your water supplier. The next one is energy. And that's not one you're going to handle either. That's one we're going to handle. That's our responsibility. And Michigan has one of the tightest and most stringent requirements for large-scale data centers of any state in the country. And we were the first utility in the state to go to the Public Service Commission and request special rules and tariffs to make sure that any large-scale data center would pay its own way. Not all of us as customers, but the data center would cover the cost of any new generation, any new substations, lines, poles, anything. They're going to cover it. And if there's any excess generation that goes beyond that, it comes to us. We don't pay for that. So that's a good thing. So, and remember, data centers, really, they're not just a business coming in, they're infrastructure. Just like our substations, your water system, your sewer system, roads, bridges, it's infrastructure. It's infrastructure for the next generation of technology and industry that's coming. It's here, but it's going to continue to come. Your website, all the ordinances, all of our phones that everybody in this room has, they all use data centers. And right now I just saw where Pennsylvania, one of the energy companies down there, we're talking about maybe a gigawatt we're trying to get. They've just signed by 2030, 28 gigawatts by 2030. I mean, this stuff's coming and we don't want it to bypass Michigan. We just don't.
I would allow you to talk over a little bit because I had a couple of questions on that topic. As you support that, people like me, and I don't wear a foil hat with, you know, 10 foil hat, but I'm interested in how you're going to measure the radiation, how the effect on the community's health. Everybody knows you got a cell phone. You put the cell phone on your bed sometimes, it gets so hot you think it's going to set your bed on fire. This thing uses 1 million times more energy than that in radiation. That's why I have a problem with it. But if you have a way to measure that, let the community know it's safe and what have you, maybe a person like me, stubborn, could be persuaded. But right now, I hear what you're saying, and I understand everybody who's a proponent, and I understand people who are an opponent. That's me. I worry about the health. So I'm not saying you have to defend it or present me anything now, but I'm just addressing the tail end of what you said,
And that's,
and I allowed you to work over it.
have a good conversation, right?
Okay.
Not, social media has just gone crazy. We're just gonna shut the state of Michigan down, have no new developments whatsoever. We've got to, as citizens, whether we like the issue or don't like the issue, we gotta be able to have a conversation and get to those very things you're talking about.
Mhm.
Does this have a radiation issue? Yes or no? And if it's no, put it out there. And if the answer is yes, what do you do about it? You use a lot of water, don't you? Yes or no? What do you do about it? That's the kind of conversation we need to have.
Well, I'll be looking forward to it. Thank you. We got one in the back, and then you come up right after him. Go ahead, come on.
Go ahead.
I know.
On April
Will you
21st.
tell us first? Would you tell us who you are?
I'm sorry?
Give us your name.
My name is William Dwyer.
Okay. All right.
On April 21st, while I was stabilizing my home after a tree fell on it, I was approached by Jim Wolfersberger. 2 days in a row, he harassed my construction crew and threatened citations for emergency work that doesn't legally require permits. His confrontational demeanor was entirely inappropriate for a public official assisting a resident during a disaster. On April 23rd, he overstepped his job duties and decided to take a building permit that I filled out and a check for $160, which still hasn't cleared the bank. And it's been 3 weeks since I handed that check over to him. It's been 20 days. And it still hasn't cleared. Yesterday, I spoke with Mr. McCarty, excuse me. And he promised me an email about the matter, which I still haven't received. Now, I'm sitting here waiting for a permit for something that I shouldn't need a permit for. A tree hit my house. It was emergency work that under state law doesn't need a permit. And as far as I'm concerned, this hassle has caused enough delay that I should get the permit for free without having to pay anything for it. I wrote a formal grievance letter that I'd like to hand to the clerk.
Thank you.
And I hope you do something about it because professionalism matters. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, what was your name again, so I can check on your check?
I'm sorry?
What was the name again, so I can check on your check?
The name on the check is Jim Brayton. He's the manager that I've hired to manage the
Okay.
repair project.
Is it BRY?
BRAYTON.
Okay.
Sir, the whole scenario you just explained, I guarantee you.
Sorry?
I said the whole scenario that you just explained.
Yeah.
I said we will look into it. I'll look into it. That's the first I've heard of it. You never contacted the supervisor's office, so therefore you'll hear from me tomorrow.
Apparently, this check hasn't been cashed yet, hasn't been deposited into the township's bank account yet. So I'd like to know where it is.
I'll look into it tomorrow.
Thank you.
Good evening, Brian Molman. And the rule that I live by is I believe that if you ask for something, there's a possibility you receive it. If you don't ask for it, there's 100% chance you will not receive it. So the Firekeepers Local Revenue Sharing Board exists to comply with terms of a compact between the Nottosippi Huron Band of the Potawatomi and the state of Michigan
providing for tribal class 3 gaming by the tribe in Calhoun County. The compact was entered into on December 3rd, 1998, and amended on July 23rd, 2009, and defines how tribal payments are made to local governments. Per the compact, the tribe makes payments equal to 2% of the annual net winnings from electronic gaming, games of chance, in order to provide resources to units of government that are located within the immediate vicinity of the tribal casino or those otherwise directly impacted by the operation of the casino. Firekeepers Local Revenue Sharing Board distributed nearly $1.9 million to local governments in 2010 from the first annual net win payment from the casino's operations. The Firekeepers Local Revenue Sharing Board currently consists of 6 representatives, one from each of the following entities: Calhoun County, Emmett Township, the City of Battle Creek, City of Marshall, Athens Township, and a representative of the tribe. Guidelines and bylaws which establish criteria or formulas for the distribution of casino revenues and the actual disbursements of funds require a unanimous vote of the representatives. Hear this: a local unit of government does not have to have representation on the board to apply and receive discretionary grant distributions. As an example, the following units of government have applied for and received these amounts of Tier 4 discretionary grant distributions over past years. Albion Township, $15,000 for fire. Battle Creek Promise Zone Authority, $25,000. The City of Albion, $25,000. City of Marshall, $25,000. City of Springfield, $12,500. Homer Area Fire Authority, $96.75. Penfield Township, $12,500 and $21,200 for 2 projects. The Village of Homer, $25,000. To date, the Nottawassippi Huron Band of the Potawatomi has contributed $84.6 million to the local revenue sharing board since Firekeepers Casino opened in 2009. Looking back as far as 2013, no grants were solicited or received by Bedford Charter Township. We're missing out on a thought. I encourage the board to aggressively research viable community projects within the township that would benefit from discretionary grant distributions from the Firekeepers Local Revenue Sharing Board. Thanks. And I do have samples of 2024 applications if anyone would like to look at them.
Yeah.
Can I? Yeah.
Okay. They typically distribute every 2 to 3 years.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Put a couple over here. What have I got? No, there we go.
Right.
That's the 2024 version. The next distribution I heard will be in 2027.
Thank you, Brian.
Anybody else wishing to speak?
Okay, I'm just gonna stick with the good stuff tonight, can't do it. First, I want to thank Christy, our treasurer, for last week after the senior, or during the senior, donuts and coffee, whatever you call it, I don't know, my mind is, I'm blank now. She came and requested I come back to her office. I thought I was getting called to the principal's office. I thought I was in trouble. But she showed me something she had found, which was a treasure, and I truly appreciate that. And some of the things I found will be shared with the public during Parks and Rec stuff, during our Level Park birthday celebration. It was quite a historical thing. Sometimes I think the township just doesn't know what they have stored in cabinets and files and stuff. So I appreciate that very much. May 22nd, 8:30 a.m. We are placing flags at Bedford Cemetery. I spent a lot of time putting together a list.
And I'm still not done. I know there's others. I'm going back out and walk the cemetery tomorrow. And I'm doing some research in the paper, but we're up to 389 veterans now. And some of the stories are just fascinating. Supposedly, although they don't have a marker and I don't have a lot number yet, there is a veteran from the War of 1812 buried there, which is probably one of the oldest war that we have somebody buried there around. I've always grew up in Lovell Park hearing the story of, as my mom used to say, Tommy Hastings, who was killed in the Vietnam War. What I didn't realize is out at Bedford, there are at least 8 others that gave their life for this country. And we actually have 2 that are on the current list for missing in action yet. And one being a young man that lived over here on Camry. So it's been interesting, and I'm still digging, I'm still finding stuff. But I want to share this story with you. I'm gonna, like I said, keep this upbeat. There was a man whose last name is Penke buried out there, and he was a World War I vet that had when he got out of the service, he developed a landscaping business and mowed yards and loved it. He just hated doing his own lawn. So what did he do? He cemented in his entire front yard and side yard, painted them green. He had trees and bushes designed out of cement and put on there. He painted those. And I thought that was hilarious. I mean, he did this for a living, but he didn't want to do his own yard, and that was his way of getting out of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else wishing to speak?
Danielle Blanchard, 2 things. One, super cool that you guys are doing a park over there. Are there any blueprints that we can get to the public, like planning? Also, I know there was discussion about how many courts to put in there. Maybe open that to either, I don't know, the planning. So maybe Parks and Rec or the community, see if they want 4. But if they're building like a place for sitting, maybe 3, like a nice compromise between 2. Also, it was discussed about bathrooms. If they're building like seating, is it feasible to look at the bathroom? Is it feasible to only have it open here? Who's gonna maintain the pavilion? Is it rentable for parties? And that kind of thing. Also, you guys were talking about it being well lit and cameras. Are there going to be cameras further where it's obstructed? Are there going to be lighting in there? Or is it going to be daytime? Is it going to be closed at night? Is just things to think about. Maybe get a blueprint for the community, get some community involvement. I think that's cool. I just don't know anything about it. Also, Boy Scout troops, Girl Scout troops, they're looking for volunteering opportunities. That could be something cool in the community to like bring them in. Like, hey, we're helping this. Do you want to build a picnic table? Bird bath, something. I know Gaga Ball is pretty popular too. Maybe a Gaga Ball pit.
I'm not sure what Gaga Ball is.
Thank you.
I think that's later. Always got that.
Okay.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak a public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to personal privilege, elected officials, trustees. Start down there at Commissioner Bruce's, Trustee Bruce's position.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. I know a few left already, but the input, we like that, good ideas. I voted no on that pickleball court. I want the pickleball court, but I'm just worried about the location with our fire department being here. Because when you guys are gone at 4:30 and a group of teenagers come in there and they all got their own car and, you know, that's just my concern. So. Go ahead.
Okay. So to address the question that was asked of us of the first speaker at, the first comment section, I don't own any property that's in the development zone. I just own my home. Well, bank owns some of that yet. As far as the pickleball, I agree that we have a long way to go before we green light funds for, the full project, but we've got to start somewhere. I know that Christie's been bringing this idea to the board now for a few months. It is something that we've been talking about. It is an investment in the community for the members of the community. So I didn't have any apprehension in voting for the architecture. To answer Ms. Blanchard's question, we won't have plans until the architect draws them up. After that, I'm sure there'll be ample opportunity for community involvement and decisions in how things are, you know, developed from there. I'm also not concerned about the fire department navigating traffic. These guys go down streets and some of our more rural driveways that are a far greater obstacle course for them to navigate than some traffic. Plus, you know, they're very adept at getting things out of their way if need be. So that I don't think is going to be a problem. As far as the moratorium, I appreciate the concern that maybe we weren't understanding. I did understand the concept of the moratorium. I know that it buys us time, not the ultimate potential of having something in place, nor am I against data centers. We just use that as an example. Honestly, I don't know enough about them to be against them or for them. But it'd be a good learning opportunity. Let's see. That's all I got. Other than thank you all for coming, and you know, your voices are very welcome here.
Short and sweet. I appreciate all of the work that you're doing, Tony, with the cemetery and the flags and getting the veterans identified. I appreciate that. Looking forward to a grant from the tribe. I think that would be helpful. Need to figure out a project for it. The pickleball court, that should be a good source of something to do in the community, which we don't have a lot of here now. So maybe that's something that we move around a little bit to make it a better fit size wise. Keeping it in the same position, but just maybe less pickleball courts. But thank you, everyone.
Just want to say thanks everyone for coming. I mean, I've pretty much covered everything in both times that I've spoken before, so that's all I have. I'm good.
Veteran flag placement, again, Tony brought that up and I had that down for May 22nd at 8:30. Tony's putting this together. She's the co-chair for Parks and Rec, and she is putting a lot of work into this. And we truly need to appreciate you, Tony, and anybody that can come out to support that morning for our veterans. I think that's so important. Compensation committee, labor compensation committee, that's not going to be an overnight thing. Still, we have a lot to move forward to, a lot of discussion, a lot of everybody putting in collectively how they want to move that forward. Pickleball, again, just my location, traffic, things like that. That's just my issue with that. The fire keepers casino, I think we need to look into that. That would be great if we could get that. You're right, there's a lot of money lost. And not for sure if we can get it or not. But anyway, that's what I have, and thank you all for coming.
It's my turn. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Several other board members already stole my thunder about a lot of things. Pickleball court, I think is a good idea. As many of you know, you gotta have a draft plan to get started, and that's kind of where we're at. We're trying to get a draft, and that's why the architecture is needed. And then we can get a lot of public input and comment. I think that's very important. Yeah, saying moratorium about 5 times in a row, can't even say it anymore. But it's a process, and it's a bureaucratic process where we have to take it to the planning commission and our attorney to draft the right language, bring it to the board. And it's not designed specifically, as was mentioned, for data centers. It's designed for anything. I can't even imagine what could come up next that we would not understand or have knowledge of. So I think it's very important that we have that ability to have time to research. So thanks again for coming.
Just for a little clarification. Tony, as I don't know if she's been told or if you pass it on to her, but and it's my decision that she stays the chairperson of the Parks and Recreation. Cody stays up there, just like in your capacity as a liaison. He's part of the staff, and I don't want them to be stifled in any way of making their decisions. I want them to have their full autonomy, their own ideals, govern themselves, and he can be there just like Gene is in the capacity. He's still there, but I think they should run their own committee. And it was well meant for me to be able to say that. You want to have discussion, fine. If not, I move to adjourn. Adjourn.